Whoa! Is that thing gonna open up a warp portal thing? Yep, there's the warp portal. Kill us all the orcs. Where are the signs of heresy, of chaos? Oh, well, sucks to be them. Oh, he can make it! Nope, he got knocked down.
The whole mountain is coming down!
You don't say.
A good deal of it anyway, just as we hoped.
You knew this was going to happen?
It's what we came here for. We had to strike this blow if our people are to survive. I'm heartily sorry for getting all of you killed as well.
Oh, well, that's all
I
good
don't
then.
think we need to worry about death just yet. Look!
Just so long as you're sorry.
Spared.
Eagles, yay! Mountain breaker, that's me. I break mountains. I did 1,178,253 damage. Okay.
Well, this is a day I'll not soon forget.
Dwarves!
I've seen a few things in my time, but I've not flown on an eagle's back till today.
New city
Now
then?
it's a bit easier to talk. Let me thank you properly for saving our lives and bid you welcome to Nordenbad, our home.
I guess so.
Father, the Lord Gorin will want to speak with you. Nordri's gone ahead to report on the Gundabad raid and to tell him about everything you did for us.
More
Why did you
conversations.
send your warriors against Mount Gundabad?
We keep a careful watch on the orcs in the mountains. When we saw them gathering in large numbers at Gundabad, we had reason to believe they were preparing to move against us here. We didn't like our chances against that many orcs, but we knew about the hidden weapon at Gundabad. So Nordri and I led a small force there to use it against them.
Okay.
You undertook that mission believing you would not return.
Aye, every dwarf was a volunteer and knew he wouldn't be coming back.
But you said Nordri is Gorin's son. He let his heir undertake such a mission.
He didn't have a choice. After a lifetime of lecturing the lad about his duty to his people, there was no way Gorin could say no when Nordri volunteered, much as he'd have liked.
What can you tell us of the device you used to collapse the ceiling at Gundabad? I've never heard of such weapons.
It was an ancient defense made by the dwarves who delved Gundabad long ago. Nobody understood the qualities of stone better than the dwarves of old, and they knew that just the right sound can cause solid stone to split. They used that knowledge to build a defense
Noise Marines in the
against
making.
anyone who might force their way past the gates of their home.
But Mount Gundabad has been an orc hold for centuries. How did you know about this weapon?
Aye, it's been in the hands of the orcs for many a year, but not straight through. I was only a lad when my people fought a great war against the orcs. My father helped sack Gundabad. He was one of the stoneworkers who found the weapon. It made a big impression on him, and he told me the tale so many times I was sure I could find the thing and use it against the orcs.
But how could you be certain it would still function after all those centuries?
We didn't. The whole thing was a gamble. Luckily it paid off.
Am I correct in guessing that you might have a similar defense here?
Some things are best left secret.
That's a yes.
Do you think the orcs will follow us here to Nordenbad?
Escaping on eagles like we did will throw them off the trail a bit, but it won't be long before they realize it was a group of dwarves that hit them first, and that'll get them thinking about us here. It's not like they're not thinking about Nordland anyway, but I'll let Gorin tell you more about that.
We're grateful for the welcome, but in the rush of battle and our escape, I don't believe we actually caught your name.
Of course we did. It's been in the subtitles.
Bruni, son of Bane, at your service and your families. I'm captain of the Nordenbad Guard and a servant of Lord Gorin.
At your instruction, the Eagles brought us east for many leagues, over many high mountain peaks. Where are we now exactly?
Aye, it's east you've come. Clean over the Misty Mountains and along the length of the Grey Mountains. You've left the lands of Eriador behind. You're on the northern edge of the land of Rovanian now.
Oh, that's pretty far.
What can you tell me about your lord?
Gorin's a great leader. He'd have to be to hold Nordenbad together for so long, surrounded by enemies and starved for basic necessities as we are. There's not a dwarf here who wouldn't lay down his life for him.
Okay.
We would be pleased to speak with Lord Gorin.
Just make your way past the doors you see yonder and you'll find him within. The guards
I don't
have
see
been
doors, I
instructed
see
to
a
let you
green
pass.
thing.
I suspect I'm the first man to see
Oh,
the
that door.
inside of these halls.
I am certain I am the first elf.
Can I break these? No, I can't even attack. Talk to him, I already have. The Eagles, what's this?
Who would have guessed that such a place still existed in these mountains?
I'm gonna have something to do here, what with turrets. Sup, Belaram?
You should not keep the lord of these halls
Oh,
waiting.
okay. Guess I have to talk to him before I can barter and stuff. Okay, these guys I can't talk to, so they're unimportant. More cutscenes.
Here, sire, are those I spoke of. Allow me to present a kinsman, Farron of Erebor, and also Andriel and Eridan, his companions. We succeeded in...
Okay, I'm the leader here. They're my companions.
Only to their aid.
You are most welcome here, kinsman.
Well, I guess
And no
it's all the
less so your
same.
companions, be they man, elf, or eagle. Welcome all to Nordenbad, last hall of the Longbeards in the Grey Mountains. You have returned to me, my son and my oldest friend, whom already I mourned as lost. For this, you will forever have my gratitude and the hospitality of these halls. Know that this is not something lightly given, for never before have we allowed any but our own folk to pass these gates. And no eyes have gazed upon the hidden lake of Azanzaram, save those of our close kindred. Yet for what you have done, I will gladly lay aside our ancient oath of secrecy.
Alright. You're still not getting near the secret fountain. What was it called? The Ranger Fountain. In Ithilien. I don't even remember now.
You
The
are
one they almost
Longbeards.
killed Gollum for going into.
And you are of Durin's folk, and close kin to Farron.
In centuries past, most of our kin called these mountains home.
What was that fountain
And
called?
the dragons came from the far north. One by
The
one,
reflection
all
pool,
were
something
lost
like
or
that.
abandoned.
It was like the
But
reflection
Nordenbad,
pool, or reflective
we
pool.
alone endured those
Something
dark
like that.
times. And thanks to you, we may hope to endure our current troubles as well.
I don't see what's so great about your lake, though.
What can you tell me of your home?
My great-great-grandsire was the first to enter the caves of this mountain, where he discovered the hidden lake we call Azanzaran. He was awed by its beauty, and led some of his kin here. Slowly, for many long years, with loving hands and careful chisels, we created the halls you see before you. Nordenbad was never rich in gold or jewels, but its beauty would move even the most cold-hearted dwarf. That is why we have remained here for so long. There is not a dwarf among us who would not choose death over exile from our home.
This lake. Did your kin create it?
Nay, my ancestors discovered Azanzaram even as you see it. We have worked with care to enhance what we found. A chip here, a tap there, fashioning bridges, halls, and tunnels. But always, we have taken care to preserve the great gift we were given.
It is beautiful. I am honored to behold it.
May I ask how it was you happened to be in so unlikely a place as Mount Gundabad? One does not go lightly into so foul a pit.
We were hunting a black-hearted servant of the enemy. He goes by the name of Agandaur.
Agandaur. We are familiar with that one. Curse his Blackheart.
He appeared before our gates some weeks past and called us to parley. In the name of Sauron the Great, so he said.
A parley? What did he ask of you?
He demanded that we yield ourselves up to the mercy of Sauron. As if there was any mercy in the Dark Lord.
He lays claim to Nordenbad, telling us if we turn over our halls and riches without a fight, our lives will be spared, and we will be free to seek a new home elsewhere.
Of course, we would have nothing of that. When we defied him, he grew wrathful, threatening us with the fiery doom that overtook our ancestors.
Fiery doom? What did he mean by that?
I fear he may have allied himself with the dragon Orgast, who dwells in these parts. With such a beast at his command, we would have little hope of resisting him.
A dragon? But I thought the world world had seen the last of dragons after Bard the Bowman slew Smaug.
Alas, no. There are dragons still to be found in these mountains, and yet more dwell on the wastes beyond. They may not be as great or wicked as was Smaug, but they are large and evil enough. Make no mistake about that.
But could even Agandaur command the allegiance of such a creature?
Perhaps not on his own account, but if he speaks for the Dark Lord, even Orgast would think twice before offending him.
Dragons are wicked creatures, and their greed knows no bounds. Agandaur only has to name the right price.
Maybe we should go after this dragon before he comes after us.
Well, destroy Orgast? If only it were that simple. The attack on Gundabad would be a peaceful stroll around the lake in comparison. Nay, if it were so easy to slay dragons, there would be many more dwarves still dwelling in these mountains.
Orgast has never taken notice of us before. We rather hoped it would stay that way.
I have heard it said it does not pay to leave a live dragon out of your calculations if you live near one.
We can't let Agandaur have such a beast under his command.
Agreed. Where can we find Orgast?
You do not lack for courage, I will grant you. Yet we know not where the dragon dwells. No dwarf has discovered his lair and lived to tell of it.
Perhaps Radagast knows this secret, or can discover it. Seems there is little that happens in Wilderland that escapes his notice.
Radagast. I've heard the name before.
Who is Radagast?
Radagast the
think.
Brow.
Oh, yeah.
A master of birds and beasts. He keeps to himself mostly, but he's a decent enough sort. As long as you mean no harm to the wild creatures.
Is he the one
befriend.
from The Hobbit?
He dwells within the forest of Mirkwood, away to the
I
south.
don't remember.
Perhaps your companion Belaround would.
Mirkwood.
For it is said that Radagast is a friend to the Lord of Eagles.
I think I ran
himself.
across him in online.
We should
Maybe
travel
that's where I
to
recognize it
Mirkwood.
from.
I am certain we will
I think he might be the guy
speak
that they
with
ran
Radagast.
into in The Hobbit, where Gandalf was telling his tale.
Before you set out, please accept a token of our gratitude.
And all the dwarves kept coming in bit
Seek
by
out
bit.
my steward Galar. I have instructed him to open our vaults to you. I believe you may find something within that will be of service in the days ahead.
Free loot? Hopefully. Alright, can I talk?
We would be honored if you would accept a token of our
I've
gratitude.
already talked about that.
Find my steward Galar.
I shall.
Okay, nothing new. How about you?
I still can't believe I'm alive. I thought I would draw my last breath in the fetid air of Mount Gundabad. Mind you, I'm not complaining.
Tell me about Goran, your father. Is he a king?
King? Oh, no. He is merely the Lord of Nordabad. We acknowledge Dane Ironfoot as the rightful king of the Longbeards. Not that he has any idea of our existence.
Someday you may be Lord of Nordbad. Will you seek a reunion with your son and kin when that day comes?
Secrecy has always preserved us here before, but it can't do so for much longer. We are a dwindling folk, and this war has only made that worse.
That is a nice looking
Nordabad
lake,
is
actually.
precious, but I see little point in leaving it empty. If we survive the days ahead, we will seek out our kin. My father sees the need for this as well. Were it not so, I wouldn't have dared bring you and your friends to our hidden halls.
Tell me about Bruni, the other dwarf who survived Mount Gundabad.
Bruni is the captain of our guard, the terror to the orcs of these mountains. He's been my father's best friend since long before I was born, and he taught me how to wield an axe, and what it means to serve.
It sounds as if you have been in Mirkwood before.
I've been around it a lot more than in it, and that suits me just fine. I don't care for that wood. Don't know how anyone could. But I've often traveled to the eaves of the forest to trade with the Bjornings who live thereabout. It was all such a trading venture that
Yeah,
I happened to meet Radagast.
Pretty sure that is Radagast then, with the
Who are
Bjornings.
these people, the Bjornings?
A hardy folk and brave.
Grimbeorn?
As any who dwell between
I don't
Mirkwood
even
and the Misty
remember. I just need to wait for the
Mountains.
movie, I guess.
Under their chieftain, Grimbeorn, they've kept the mountain passes and river crossings open, even in these troubled times. But I've heard rumors of war on their borders of late. The high passes may now be closed, at least to those without the benefit of eagle wings.
Can you tell me more about Radagast?
He's an unusual sort, friend to all beasts and birds. To be honest, I don't think he cares much for dwarves, but maybe he just prefers the company of animals. One thing's certain, there are few people with more knowledge of this part of the world. He even spoke of Nordenbad as if it were common knowledge.
Do you believe we will be a match for Urgost?
It's not that I doubt your courage and skill, and I'd be mighty glad to no longer have a dragon as a neighbor. But truthfully, I wonder if anyone can overcome such a beast. I just hope your luck proves equal to your daring.
What comes next for your folk?
I'm afraid we're all out of tricks to play. All we can do is prepare our defenses, hunker down and wait for whatever the winds of war might blow our way.
Sounds fun.
Whatever fate may